Hello humans, Master Dinnerflax here, bringing you a little quality content you deserve. And today I'll be doing a quick combo in Monarchs. Now this version of Monarchs I call Destiny Hero Monarchs because since Brilliant Fusion went to 1, there wasn't really a substitute for it in Extra Deck Monarchs. Now you might also be asking, why would you ever play Extra Deck Monarchs when Domain Monarchs does something more unfair? And that is simply because not only do I just not like Domain Monarchs, but I feel like their win condition is not as good as you would think it is. Because yes, locking your opponent out of the extra deck is really, really powerful, but it's only powerful going first. And not only is it only powerful going first, but if that win condition was truly solid, then the Tribute Stun deck going around would have already done better than it is doing. So if the Tribute Stun deck isn't working, why would a different Tribute Stun deck work? That's just how I feel about it. So I'd rather just use Monarchs as a resource engine than try to lock my opponent out, because there's a good chance it'll just never work out, and you'll end up with a bunch of dead cards. That being said, if Pantheism comes to 3, it'll probably just strictly be better to always domain lock. But as it stands right now, I feel like domain locking your opponent isn't as strong as you would think it would be, because it only works in a world where your opponent doesn't have a single out to your board and doesn't interact with a single one of your cards. And if they're doing that, then they deserve to lose regardless if you're having domain or not. But that's way besides the point I'm trying to get to. This is a quick combo. So, in theory, you could just play one to two extra deck monsters and then empty it out with this combo and then domain lock your opponent. That would be actually super valid in this specific combo. But let's go ahead and get into it. So, your opening hand needs Fusion Destiny, Return of the Monarchs, and a Monarch Speller Trap that isn't Stormforth. So we're going to go ahead and activate Fusion Destiny. Now, all your stuff has its own set of restrictions, so the order you activate these cards in is super important, to the point where you should be activating these cards in the exact sequence I am. So we're going to activate Fusion Destiny, and the restriction we are now under is that we can only special summon Dark Hero monsters for the rest of the turn. And we're going to summon Dangerous, any Dark Effect monster, and a Destiny Hero monster. Now banish Malicious to special a second copy of Malicious. And we are going to link these away into, where is he? Cross Crusader, the most censored name ever. Then we're going to Cross Crusader is going to revive this. We're going to banish the second Malicious for the third one. Now what you can do here is you can go ahead and tribute this to go ahead and with Cross Crusader's effect, and we can go ahead and search draw a hand. Now we can activate Dangerous's effect to discard this and send just any other extra Destiny hero. You could send Celestial, you could send Dreamer, any Destiny heroes. The reason I'm playing Dynatag is in specific combos where you don't open up the other spell or trap, you can actually search this, activate Return, and then Tribute Summon, and that can search you an Aether. But Dynatag also has a graveyard effect. That's what you're only wanting to go after. So now we got this grave set up. We're going to activate Return of the Monarchs. Now we can no longer special summon monsters except Dark Heroes. And now while this is face up, we cannot special summon from the extra deck. But that's fine because we're not doing it again. We're going to discard our Monarch Speller Trap. And we're going to add this back to our hand with Erebus' own effect. Now, what's happened now is you haven't normal summoned yet. So we are going to tribute summon Erebus. And there we go. Now, Chainlink 1 will be Erebus, and Chainlink 2 will be Return. Return will search Aether. Then Erebus will send this and this. And now you shuffle a random card in your opponent's hand into the deck. So now they're starting off with a 5-card hand. Then we're going to banish Pantheism to search a Stormforth, assuming you haven't drawn a single one. And now, not only do you have a return set up, but once it gets to your opponent's turn, in the standby phase, draw hand is going to trigger to special summon itself. And you can choose if both players draw or not. I never do. It's never good to give your opponent a free card on their turn when your card's not going to be live till next turn. Even if you draw like a hand trap or an Aether, it doesn't matter because A, you already have an Aether. B, you have to draw a hand trap for that to matter. So I only use them to special summon. But now what you can do is you can activate Stormforth in that same standby phase. And then when your opponent starts making a play, you can activate Aether, banish Stormforth from your grave, tribute this, tribute one of their guys, summon Aether, trigger return to search another Monarch. And then if they have a field that you're worried about them building, you can Kuraz them. But if not, you could also just Kuraz this way, blowing up your return to go back into your extra deck. Or if you are trying to domain just with 2 extra deck cards, you could also go for that instead. But pretty basic combo. I just found it really neat that you could use the Destiny Hero engine as a starter. And not only that, you can also use the Destiny Heroes as a draw engine with like D-Draw and Allure Darkness. That's also really cool. And Malicious itself is actually just a really good tribute fodder. Back in the day it was, and even now, like, it's just a free body, and there's so much you can do with that. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And remember, Master Dinnerflax will take your soul.